Hi, my name is Brenda DIFFUSER, and I like manipulating lights with these. Hey guys, it is a rainy afternoon in Canada right now, and I'm on day 1,000 million jillion bagillion blah, blah, of this quarantine. I know, it's a little stressful, we're all going a little crazy, but this is the perfect time to learn, to grow, to take a breather from this fast-paced life some of us might be living in, and learn a little about making diffusers. Hope you enjoy! These are some diffusers I've made, and I've got pictures that look like this. Ooh, ah. And today, we'll be customizing my YONGNUO YN360, whatever it is. So, what do you need? You need aluminum foil. Oh my god, was this worth it? Probably not. A board to cut on, some rulers, whatever size, a glue gun with some hot glue, an X-Acto knife and a pencil of your choice. Last but not least, foam core and normal white paper, which I forgot to show. So make sure that when you're doing this, you're going over your line by a little bit because you're going to use that extra piece of foam core to make a more seamless look, and I'll show you how to do that later. So this will be the back piece, and I'm saving that extra piece of foam core for another project maybe. I'm using these cutouts of the light because I'm actually using the light to record this video and bring light into my production, so yeah. So now I'm using the shorter side where I will be showing you where the diffusion goes. I'm going a little farther than the width of the back because I wanted to be a small something, a handheld. I wanted to be able to go to different places and it not be taking up too much space with me. I'm assuming that a lot of you will be using a different light compared to me, and you can use the same method. Usually I just eyeball it, but I'm trying to make it a little more uniformed for the video sake. So if you think this is bad, you don't want to see me doing it normally. I kind of just cut and then go, oh shoot, I'm bleeding. I accidentally cut my arm off. And obviously I'm going to duplicate it for the other side as well. So now we have two. So now that I've done the main corners, I'm going to show you how I do the seamless cut. So you have Bristol board at the top and bottom and foam in the middle. We're going to cut through the first layer of Bristol board and through the foam, but you can't cut through the bottom layer because we want to keep that piece. So now that I did that, as you can see, I didn't go all the way through. I'm going to carefully cut out the foam part and pull it straight off. Now that piece at the end, you'll be able to attach to your flat edge of the foam core once you pick which sides. I do all four sides and I cut it in this same technique because sometimes you make mistakes and I want something to be able to fall back on, but you will eventually have to cut the sides of this seamless to get it to look seamless. Hopefully that makes sense to you in some way, shape, or form. But now we're gonna do the top, and yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory. I cut way too much, and that's me fixing my mistake. And either way, this is such an inexpensive tool to get this foam core, and you can do so much different things with it, and if you do it the right way, they could be long-lasting, kind of long-lasting items that you can have at your disposal. And you can honestly customize anything you do. It's kind of a win-win situation here. It takes time to make them, I guess. Not really any time though. This is my bigger scaled one I've ever done. But like, it's just fun. Just do it. I'm looking at this footage now and I'm like, my toes. My toes are just in every shot. I can't. So now that you've seen my beautiful toes, you can start to add the aluminum foil, and this is where the hot glue gun comes in. It gets hot. I'm not joking. Aluminum foil gets hot. Be careful. I burnt myself, or like hurt myself, I guess, multiple times. It sucks, just don't do it. I used the flat side of my X-Acto knife to try and smoothen out the aluminum foil, and I found that it actually really helped and it made it much easier to apply. Also, I'm trying to not waste any of this aluminum foil, so you might see me picking at small pieces and trying to fit them into corners, and that's just me being a little more conscious of the materials that I'm using. So now that you're done putting the aluminum on all of those sides, you can now start to set them together and see what you need to get cut off and which sides you are going to pick to leave the cuts that you made to give it that seamless look. So I left the back piece with all its edges intact and went ahead and cut off the excess to the left and right panels. I found that one side was bowing a little, so that's why I chose to just glue the back piece and to deal with the sides one by one. So I cut out a section for the bottom piece, and I had to pull the light off because I needed to see how big of a space I had to get, because I need the light to be able to slip in and out like this. Neat! For this piece, I actually won't be adding any aluminum foil and instead be replacing it with a piece of cloth, so every time I slide my light in and out, it'll be protected and won't get scratched. So this would be the time that you would usually grab your piece of paper and glue it together. But I found these two pieces of cloth, I got my mom to sew it, and I'm gonna use that instead. I had the piece of cloth and I felt that it would be a little more durable compared to a normal piece of paper. So I'm trying it instead. But because I'm using cloth, you run into the problem of getting wrinkles when you glue it. So I used the clamp on one side to pull the cloth, and on the other side I went ahead and started gluing in small sections, making sure to stretch out my cloth before I permanently rub it down to get the glue adhered to it. You want to take your time in these parts because you don't want light to spill off because you have a weird wrinkle, or just to make it look really unprofessional, because you might have to use this to start out your small business, and that's perfectly fine. You need to take everything at your own pace. I will be using this diffusion for car photography because I really want to try and get into it, and I just want to try it out, you know? In school, I was always taught that you're not just a photographer, you're also a problem solver. So when you're starting out, you can use a method like this to make all different types of diffusion with all different types of light. So one thing I noticed is even when I was cutting with a fabric scissor, I wasn't getting the nicest edges that I wanted. And you can see I'm trying to revive the hell out of it, and it's not working. So watch out when you're using cloth of any type. So what I tried to do is get my glue gun and this brush and try to curve the sides over to try and fix those problems. And it kind of worked. It's pretty good. So if this was helpful to you, please like and subscribe and comment what you want to see next. I will be doing a review of this light. And here are some cuts of me trying to record an ending that I did not like. So you're gonna have to deal with this. See you guys later. Bye! Oh, bye! Oh, shit.